Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly Ascension Angel Messages for December 9th through the 15th, 2024. So, as we begin, I'd just like to thank all of you who are returning to this weekly series, and to also welcome anyone and to also invite anyone who is new to our Angelic Wisdom community to join the community and subscribe. So if you haven't done that already, make sure you select the all notification bell. And feel free to leave your comments and below the video. Let's take a moment to just breathe and to kind of set the space for ourselves and for our hearts so that we can be fully open to the messages of light that you need to receive from your angels and your guardians. Take a deep breath. And in your mind's eye, see a snow-capped mountain in front of you. And notice a beautiful golden orange sunrise appearing above the mountain peak. And as you relax into the awesomeness of this mountain, allow your heart to radiate light, to open up and receive the golden orange sunrise. And just absorb the light as the sun ascends to its perfect height above the mountain peak. And just feel yourself rising with this golden orange sun as you receive the codes and keys of the new golden age. Allow yourself to soar to the height of an eagle. And as you do, you connect with spirit and with all the light beings who are now assisting our planet and radiating their unique rays of light, infusing them into the planet, into the earth, and into the consciousness of every person and the collective. And just allow your frequency to rise. And take another deep breath and breathe in all of these codes of light deep into every cell of your body. And be aware of the transformation that has taken place within your belief system, liberating you from aspects of your ego that has been distracting you from seeing with the wisdom of love. And now your angels escort you to this golden orange sun. And as you do, feel the warmth of the codes of light fill you and warm you from the inside. And just be open to receiving. And as you do, Archangel Metatron steps right into you. And raises your frequency, recalibrates your consciousness, and aligns you with the fifth dimensional frequencies. And he writes the eyes of universal light and love. He's helping you to see your circumstances from a whole nother viewpoint and from another. As if he's helping you to be another witness to your circumstances in a whole new way. In terms of your cognitive, and he's embracing you and imbuing you with the courage to transmute the narratives that have been creating challenges for you in the past. And he's also refueling your energy and your light body. He's activating your crystalline light body, so that you walk more perfectly in alignment with joy. And he's bringing the foundations of peace and oneness. And he writes about, he's writing equilibrium. And there's a stargate that is now opening to you. And just be aware of it pouring over you. And allowing you to recalibrate an alignment with the light of truth and peace and harmony and universal balance and universal love. And just breathe it in to every cell of your body as it purifies and purges the cells so that they can hold a greater capacity of light, which allows you to think with more clarity and to have your whole being and your body have more clarity about its needs and purpose within your life right now. This will allow you to bring also more light and more clarity to the human family, those who are part of your community. And now you feel yourself being connected and grounded to the earth. And as you do this, release anything that's been on your mind or your heart, any suffering, any beliefs that create suffering for you. And just see that flowing down from your heart, down through the roots, through your feet that go deep down into the heart. Of Lady Gaia. And take a moment to just breathe and let all those feelings come up and flow through you down into the earth, into the heart of Lady Gaia. And feel the wisdom of earth flow up into you, grounding every cell in the experience of your reality and all the higher possibilities of life that you will start to receive, accept, and be open to. So as you just settle into this new alignment, let's now focus our attention into the energy for this week, for December 9th through the 15th, 2024. And see what messages are coming through. So they're showing me a third eye, and this means that, and the way that it's being presented to me is an expansion of your intuition. But they wrote the word base as if that there's going to be more depth. So this means that the way that your intuition functions in your life, this will only ground or become deeper, more rooted. So it gives me a sense of having more confidence. And they're showing me sort of a king figure with the long robe. And so this gives me a sense of the emperor and sort of soul autonomy, having being more aware of what you truly desire and what you really want. And one of the things that's really important is to not be afraid to identify or to embrace what you want. Once you know what you want, then focus. Do everything that focuses you on that desire and moving forward into the unknown of all the things that it might reward you with. So it's going to feel like heavy risks, but just know that risk is sort of the other side of the coin, and on the other side of the coin is opportunity. And so that the coin is really one and the same, and it's really about how you keep your mind and your heart focused. So if you just keep thinking about everything can go wrong, and there is a balance, a happy balance, if you just keep trusting your intuition. And I almost feel like this is going to sound weird, but you need to drop more into the base of your intuition. It's almost like you have too much treble in your intuition. And what that causes you to do is sort of, it's more fantasy rather than reality, and a sense that with the base, a sense of base, and these just analogies here, but with the sense of base, you are taking action. You are in that part of your intuition where you really feel that this is something that can be accomplished. And so when you feel that energy that like this can really happen and you move forward with that, this is the level of guidance where you start to really see things unfold, and you feel like the slightest action on your intuition results in some small, even minuscule accomplishment that just the light of it is so fulfilling. And it encourages you and empowers you to take even greater steps of opportunity rather than risks. When there's too much trouble in your intuition and your guidance, you don't really accept it, or it's hard for you to believe, even though it's there to inspire you. To inspire you in the midst of a challenge, they write. So it might just be there to bring you just sort of the tip of the iceberg of something. And then you have to somehow find a way or allow that base level to also match that treble level of your intuition. So do not discredit the treble, but just know that that aspect of your that initial aspect of your intuition is going to develop into sort of a fuller vision, like almost like a fuller sound, right? Because they're using sound. Music is this analogy. And when that time comes, you will act from your gut. You will act from your truth. You will no longer doubt the reality or the potential the reality of what your intuition is sharing with you. So when things are sort of treble, we tend to end up dismissing them very quickly. Just have patience until that bass comes in. And it may be that the bass comes in and shifts the treble to something else. But that's what I'm saying, that the treble was just meant to inspire you until you get that balance of depth and height. And then you have the full picture of the reality that you're aiming for. The goal is not to back away from perceived risks as fear, but as opportunity to walk towards risk that are really and truly opportunity. It's just fear telling you to be afraid. But if it's really something that you should not do, that base of intuition will affirm it for you. And you don't need anybody to tell you anything else about it. The angel number that they showed me at the beginning, before I started the reading, it says, angel number 605, and it says, God is helping you improve your life so that you have more peace of mind. And we all know that we can't truly have peace of mind until we know it for ourselves. We know it, and that knowing they're right is a source response, or source responding. So that this base level of energy that will align with that treble is what they're writing in front of me is source responding, or a source response. You will not need energy from anywhere else, because now the energy is being regenerated on its own from within yourself, as you are now in alignment with the source that is the fuel behind all of your energy and all that you experience, and gives life, imbues itself with the life of the reality that you are envisioning and are also moving towards with total clarity. And I don't know, they keep writing cognitive. So there's some kind of um, spiritual cognition that is this very grounding. They're again writing source responding. So when you are confused, that's not source responding, that's ego re- ego distorting. Okay, when you're confused, that's ego distorting. So you can use that other side of the coin and let that indicate to you that you need to wait until you are feeling that source responding, that total clarity, that total cognitive awareness of this reality that has no doubt, but it's fully empowering you and lifting you up. You feel like you're being reborn, or like your youth is restored because you are fully energized to your highest potential. And it's all the other ways of thinking that deplete that, or give the sense that you are depleted, or in the or depleting all of your energy, because you're giving away your power to anything but the feelings of source responding to you. Okay, they're really, this is a new understanding, this source responding connection that they've been trying to describe as this having the treble, the mid range, and the bass all resonating together. And writing a word right now that this source responding, this expansion that we just had through the meditation, is going to um, sort of amplify this sort of base awareness, this, I don't know what to call it, what they're trying to call it, but this, base awareness in your intuition. All right, so let's take a look at the Archangel. And it's Archangel Bhokpi. And also that Archangel Bhokpi is a seraphim. So it says it's time to fly. Look at that. Listen to your intuition. And Archangel Bhokpi is the archangel of the bird kingdom. All right, so all the winged beings. And it's the birds bring in the messages of the angels. So I've been noticing every morning I leave for work, unusually there's some, on the sidewalk, there are some trees, and of course the leaves have fallen. But every morning I hear these hundreds of birds just singing as I, and tripping around as I'm leaving my apartment to go to work. And so just be aware that a lot of messages are coming in from the angels right now to you. And so they're reminding you to listen to those messages through your intuition. And that first message, it is time to fly. It is not time for you to be afraid. You're going to, at first, just know that the fear that might come up in you or come up for you is not about what can go wrong, but it's really your ego's response to the inevitable shift where the focus in our collective consciousness is moving away from expectations of disparity and struggle and survival, and is moving towards peace. And what does that mean, peace? Does it mean that nothing bad is ever going to happen? No. Does it mean that nothing will ever go wrong or that you will never make mistakes? No. What it does mean is that you will understand, you will see with the vision of love and understanding, so that you have more acceptance about what needs to unfold in order for others' stories to unfold, the realities that they're creating. We're all participating in that. And sometimes we appear to be helpful and supportive in the role. And sometimes we challenge as others are doing the same for us, so that we can fulfill the spiritual goals that we came here to achieve as enlightenment. And not just for ourselves, but for the universe. And you'll have more peace with this when you do realize that there is a purpose or reason for everything. And peace will mean that you'll stop fighting, resisting those reasons or the purpose. But you will realize that your power, your God-given power, allows you to deliberately choose and create how you move forward. So, like my grandmother used to say, take what you got and make what you want. That's the kind of peace that you'll have, in the sense that you won't allow fear to be the default, because fear is what we perceive and what creates the perception of delays and setbacks, when in truth, peace will reveal the set up, like the step up, the set up that the universe is laying out for you. And so you don't resist the setups, you embrace the challenges of those setups, because you know that every experience in the universe is helping to give you a leg up in whatever goals your soul set out for this adventure of life on earth. So it's time to fly. It's time to embrace the setups. Now, the cards today were laid from right to left. So this means that we want to really go deeper and to looking at everything from a personal perspective, meaning this means that we understand that when we are asked to focus by the angels in this way, that we create our own reality. And even if you feel that your reality is really messed up, that you can change how you see reality and the beliefs that you've derived because of that reality, and shift them from a setback to a set up, and start to embrace the peace that surpasses all understanding. Once you see the set up, you start to absorb peace and restore the fuel of life. Source energy. And true peace is you always, the setup really means source responding. You see source responding because you see not a setback, but a set up. And then it will feel, they write, as though you are conquering the challenges of your life. And any time we conquer a challenge, it's because we have flipped the switch, and we see the reason, the purpose to move forward with the setup. When you feel defeated, it's because you see through your ego the setback. So reality is the coin. And one side of the coin is setback reality, and the other side of the coin is set up reality. So you create your reality by which side of the coin you choose to narrate your existence. You fly or you are falling, it appears, by the choice that you make. However, they write, either will serve you, no matter how high or low you feel you're going, you will always end up back to that height, because both lead to your height. Just one creates a lot of confusion and disturbance and frustration and anger, but eventually there will be a breakthrough. So it's not a progression there's never a progression from problem directly into solution. There is the moment or the opportunity of readiness for acceptance of the truth, which is all reality is meant to set you up. And when you have that breakthrough, as if some of you are now having it in this moment, you are no longer on this path of setbacks or problems, but now planted firmly, instantly on the path of solutions. All right, let's take a look at the card. So we have a king, and it's the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a fiery force, right? A very fiery force. So this fire is sort of like energy, right? We get that sense of, we use fire to fuel things, to be able to mold things in the way that we want. So there's that confidence that the fire suit brings, especially the king, who is the fire of fire. His element and archetype, fire. So he has lots of energy and therefore a commanding sort of existence. People are drawn to him like flies, to the light, or moths to the light, right? People are drawn to him, and he has a clear vision of what he wants, very active energy. So be aware and don't be afraid of people who come into your life, and into your light with a lot of energy. And it might, when you're like in that setback mode, don't think of their light as criticism, and don't take it and absorb it and then use it to create sort of this perspective of setbacks, like, this person doesn't like you, this person does all that kind of stuff. See it as this person's bringing purely their energy to light you up, to inspire you. So be open and receptive to those around you who have a strong sense of purpose and self, and let that be a sign to you of your own readiness to step into that same empowerment. This could also be an aspect of you that becomes empowered. Now, this is interesting because this card, the Five of Cups, reminds me of the opera Don Giovanni. The what is his name? The Don Elvira's father, who comes back and drags Don Giovanni down into hell, right? Because he's just so, he was killed, but and his daughter is being taken advantage of, and there's this grief and this rage, right? To For retribution. I don't know why my mind is going there, but sometimes in our own grief, underneath what might seem like on the surface a lot of sadness and passivity, there is a fuel, of fire, of rage, of anger underneath all of that. And perhaps that might come bubbling up to the surface with the king of fire, presented next to this. And it's a suit of armor. I don't know. I know he's not dressed the same, although there's a knight behind him, but it just feels like a connection here with that. So you might need to go through that process in this week in order to finally get it off your shoulders, in order to finally heal that perspective, to change that narrative. You got to go through the process, but you can also instantly transform if you're open to whatever breakthrough moment is set up for you to realign, to recalibrate, and to be born anew, in a sense. So don't give up. Don't give in to your disappointments or your regrets or your sorrows or your suffering. Maybe it's time to charge it with that fire and let that come up. And then if you can transmute it into passion and purpose, you'll use it in service, and it'll dissipate as over time, as it's being transmuted. All that energy, that stuck guck, will be re-energized and recharged in a whole new fashion, and you'll release it through that purpose, that purpose that you found, of a way that you want to serve with your light, and make your past life, mean something, have new meaning. Now, this is the Page of Pentacles, and it's interesting because our page even, he looks sort of like a little bit of a royalty, but he's studying something. This might be an opportunity for you to, and this was the card where I saw 605. So let me just reread that in conjunction with the way this card appears here. It says, God is helping you improve your life. So he's taking a look at something and thinking about how he can make it better. He's got some kind of idea in his mind, and he's got all those tools, the books, the knowledge that are there for him to actually access, but also a reminder that knowledge that you need is within. Really tapping into that intuition, that depth of intuition, not giving up on it. It says God is helping you improve your life so that you have more peace of mind. I feel like there's a solution within you. There is knowledge, there's wisdom within you that you need to revisit, that you need to try to stay with an idea or a feeling or a hunch that you have, because it's a good one and it's going to pay off. But it's a road, they write the word joy. So I feel like it's a path that leads to joy and rewards. And so they really want you to focus on that rather than the setbacks. Try to figure out the setup and the reason for that setup, and what is it helping you to do to not only transform yourself personally, but it's going to also be a transformation for others. All right, so we have now the Queen of Swords. And it's interesting because there's a lot of court cards here. So this could either indicate facets of our personalities that we need to sort of tap into. So you might really want to tap into, okay, if I see this king, what are the ways that I can be inspiring? What are the ways that I can bring fuel to a situation? How can I reinvigorate it? The page, what kind of knowledge do I need to look for within myself or in my surroundings that can bring opportunities for me and everyone else? And that taps back into that using that fuel to help you do that. And then the Queen of Swords is someone here that we see that cold iciness behind her. And I should bring this down because we're reading this now. and she's someone that when you cross the Queen of Swords, this is someone who is going to want to purge and clear out the junk, right? Get rid of the stuff that's holding you back, the stuff you don't need. Let it go. It's all about clarity, all about truth. Focus on the truth. Examining something that's distorting the truth and clearing it out. So what might be hindering you now is the way you're internalizing that the Five of Cups, that emotional fire that's brewing, or has been brewing. And you might need to really get to the heart of that with the Queen of Swords, so that you can really get clear about what that purpose is. And you'll do this by thinking about that, like, why was that, and why has that been in my life, and what can I do? How can I use what I'm feeling? If I'm feeling rage underneath the waters of emotion, then how can I turn that into something? How can I use this to help me and others? but through your service of others that you're helping yourself. It's never an imbalance of this. It's just only when you give too much and don't take and don't receive. And that receiving could clearly be about what you've gotten from what you're offering. It doesn't have to be like a physical exchange. It could be a physical, your service is offering something physical, but but for you it's spiritual and emotional, right? And mentally clarifying. And so be aware of what you need to release. Again, focus on the truth here, and what's clear. Anything that creates confusion, all right, look at what that's causing that, and then clear it out. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week. And please let me know how this is working out for you and what you're discovering. Share that with others because it might help them to figure out some things. God bless you.